Hello, this is just a reminder that we will not have class on Thursday, the 17th. We will also not have class next week, which will be the 24th. We aren't going to be meeting in person. So, what I'm talking about right now is what I want you to do. This is going to be on your own, not in class, and upload the image that you make into Microsoft Teams into the assignment that's posted there. So, what I want us to do this week is go out into public places. Everything is open up now, so we can do that. And I strongly suggest going to the art museum. In fact, just go to the St. Louis Art Museum. It's going to work the best there. So one of the things that you can do at the St. Louis Art Museum is you can sit on one of the benches and just watch people. And as people are looking at art, just trying to quickly capture their poses. See, what is it that they're doing? Try to see if you can just draw some people that are out in the wild. And so let's say this is a guy here that he's pointing at a painting with a piece of paper. That's something people tend to do. And then the guards come and say, hey, don't push that so close to. And you will notice when you're drawing people outside, they're obviously going to be clothed. So that'll be a fun change from what we usually do in class. So this is just a guy kind of facing away. He has one leg coming back here. Alternatively, we can look at sculptures that are at the museum. I know there's a sculpture there that is good to look at. That is a little girl. Her pose is somewhat like this. She has her hands on her hips. She's wearing a tutu. So yeah, I want you to look at some of the sculptures and make sketches of them. You're really looking at the poses, is what I want you to look at. I don't want to see, well, I mean, it's fine if you want to do really intricate more detailed drawings. If you want to get into value, into things like that, that's fine. But sometimes even if you go to a coffee shop and you'll see a table someone's sitting at, and let's say the lady kind of has short hair, kind of looks like Lyda Cruisen's hair, and glasses. And you'll generally see a lot of people that are like looking at their phones. So just kind of sketching the pose that they're in, what they're doing, getting it down quickly. Don't worry about these in-depth detailed drawings. If you need to photograph, you can photograph the sculptures at the St. Louis Art Museum. There's no reason you can't photograph people at the St. Louis Art Museum, but maybe don't. You need to try to see if you can capture their pose just as they're walking by, as in motion, or if waiting for someone to stand still and look at something. If you can snap a photo without people being alarmed, go for it. So what we're gonna do, or if you have family members, if you're hanging out with someone that is going to sit still, if you have someone that lives with you, you can kind of look at what pose they have and just try to see if you can get that pose down. So these don't need to be, again, there's not going to be real detailed drawings. And I want you to do as many of these as you can. So don't just do one or two. I want you to really, until you have some that you're proud of, really a pose that you like the pose, you like the way the sketch turned out. I want you to have something that you would say that you like. That is what I'm looking for, because you're going to use these poses in another drawing. We're going to use these poses in the future. So this first assignment on Microsoft Teams is just going to be making sketches like this. Again, nothing too detailed, and uploading them to Teams so that we can see what you got, see what poses we have to work with, and what we want to do with them. All right, so this one here, this would be a decent pose. I don't know how well you can see it. I'll move it over here so you can see it better. Don't want my face to be in the way. This is something I could work with. It's not super detailed, but I have enough information here that I could do something with this. And like I said in class the other day, when people are on their phones, they don't tend to move very much. It's like, well, except for maybe they stick their tongue out at me. All right. So something like this would be what I'm looking for. Just a quick sketch, something that shows what the pose is, and then if we want, because even if you don't get details in here, we can recreate this pose in the classroom if we want, to help you put it into an environment. And next week we'll be looking at different environments. So we'll be taking a pose from this week and trying to put it into an environment. If someone happens to sit still long enough for you, then you can just get enough of the shadow information. It can tell me where my light source is. It can help me when I come into the classroom to recreate the pose. You kind of see this shadow here goes there. All right, and that's good enough. I can work with this. All right, so that's what I want you to do this week. You're going to take your sketchbook. You're just going to make sketches in it. You're just going to look at people that you see. And you might start to draw someone. You might see someone sitting there, and you start to draw them. You start to draw their head, and you kind of get their rib cage in there. And then they get up and walk away. And what you end up with is this in your sketchbook. That's fine. That's fine. You just leave it. Let it be. If you want, you can... you can see if you can finish it just from memory. But if you can't, that's really not a big deal. just go on, move on to something else. You'll probably end up with several little sketches that look like, oh, I got an arm in here, and then they went away, and I'm like, oops, that's a bummer. That's too bad. It's not a big deal. Move on, find something else. Go draw one of the statues. The statues don't move; they're the perfect models. And then, but I do want you to try. I don't want you to just draw statues. I do want you to try drawing some people some live people that are out somewhere. I know that there's like a music festival that's starting back up in Lafayette Square. I don't remember. I don't know if that's starting this week. I think it is. You can look into if there's any kind of festivals going on. Those are always good places to see people and go from there. So that's what I want to see. And I haven't given you an exact number, but what I really want is for you to have at least one, ideally more than one, 2 or 3 figure sketches that you are happy with, that you think are good. That's what I want to see. If you feel like, oh, I've been drawing and I've made 20 figure sketches, but I don't like any of them, I don't think any of them are my best work, then you are not finished. You need to have one that you are proud of. All right. And I look forward to seeing what you draw this week, but make sure you get them into me so that I can look at them, give you some feedback, and talk to you about what to do next week. All right, good luck.